Hey everybody, welcome back to another digital making at home video. Today I'm here with my buddy Boone and we're going to be using the Ada poetry generator in Scratch to produce interesting stories. So even though the program itself is meant to make a short poem, what me and Booney are going to do is we're going to take that program and we're going to mess with it a bit, and instead of having it produce a poem, we're going to make it tell us a nice story about something that we like. So Boone is a bit of a fantasy fan, you like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and stuff. So I think we're going to tell a fantasy story, but you can tell whatever you like. We're going to have a look at this project now. So we'll go back to the project site. So head to the project site, that's rpf.io/projects, and you should be looking at a screen that looks something like this. Okay, and then we just want to browse all projects, and our software today is Scratch, so we do that. And then we have our Ada's poetry generator. So these are the instructions we're going to use, but again, we're going to change them. It's not going to be exactly the same way as it comes up here as it means. No. So we can see here on our site, here's our demo, okay? And so the idea is that in the demo we have two sprites and a backdrop. And so when we click on our sprite, it says things to us. Hi, I'm Ada. What's your name? It asks for your name. Right, I'm Mr. C. It says, hi, Mr. C. Click the computer to generate a poem. We click the other sprite. It tells us our poem. Plays out a horrible noise. I laugh silently by the tree. I feel hungry. That was a weird poem.
Ours is going to be a lot better.
A lot better, right? It takes a bit more work too, doesn't it? But it comes out way better than this. So what we're going to learn today is we're going to use random numbers. Do you remember what those things were that we put all the words in before? What are they called? You use it when you go shopping. Starts with L.
I remember it.
Rhymes with fist.
List.
List. Fabulous. So we're going to make some lists with words in them that your computer will then choose a random word from that list. So open up a new Scratch project, right? So you can open this version of it if you want, but to be honest, we really need a blank project to start with. So, all right, Boons, do you want to drive now, man? So delete your Scratch cat. That smug cat can go. And you can delete your other backdrop too if you want, Boom. We don't want that blank backdrop, but it doesn't really matter for now. We can just leave it if you want. So add two new sprites, Booney. So you're going to tell a fantasy story?
Yeah.
So you probably want fantasy sprites, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I know who I...
You know who you want already?
The same as last.
Okay.
Wait, what's that griffin? I don't know.
Now the griffin's in the middle there.
Oh, there.
And there's a centaur, that's it. So we pop our centaur in, and we pop in another one, which would be our fantasy. So if you're telling sci-fi, it might be an alien, or it might be a spaceship, or it could be a spaceman, or anything you want, really. I mean, if you want to make your own sprites, go ahead. What's up?
Because I want them to be like facing the same way, because the other person will be facing the other person's behind.
Right, that's okay. We can turn him around.
Right.
So moving to the side that you want. So if you want to flip him around so he's facing the other guy, let's go to looks. Oh no, so it's motion, isn't it? So where we are is good. We want motion. Double click where it says set rotation style left, right. Okay, so we just, that's what we want, but click where it says rotation style. That's it. So now we've set his rotation style, and we can go up to point in direction. Yep, and put -90 in there. -90. Or you can move the little arrow around to point in the way that you want it to go. We're going to type it in. -90. Hit enter. And then double click that block. Bam. Okay, so you can get rid of that block now, because he's the way we want him to be. And he doesn't really move in this project unless we want him to later. And that might be something like that as a bonus video later, yeah? We'll do some bonus features which will have the animation of the characters. So drag that point in direction block off. We don't need any more in it. Sweet, okay. So the first thing we need it to do is what, Boons? Do you remember?
We need to do the backdrop.
Yeah, let's add a backdrop. So you want a fantasy backdrop, right? No, that's over here, man, for backdrops.
You can choose whatever one you want on here. So there's like the castle 1, castle 2. There's the hayfield or garden rock. You can choose.
What's a good fantasy one you reckon, man? What's a good one that might work with our fantasy story?
A castle?
Yeah, castle's pretty good. One of those, I think.
Galaxy?
Forest would be cool. Galaxy might be cool. It's more of a sci-fi story, though, right?
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Pick one, man. Anyone you like.
I'm gonna do castle 2.
Awesome. That's one of my favourite ones. Cool, just moving down, that's it, so you can get the backdrop in there. Fantastic. So of our two characters, one of them is going to be the one that introduces it and says, hey, what's your name? And says, click on my friend to hear a story. And the other one is going to tell the story. So who's going to be the introducer? Who's going to introduce everybody? Okay, so choose him, choose your introductory person. And we want to when this sprite clicked to start off our project. And we want when sprite clicked. Cool. All right, awesome. So when this sprite clicked, what do we want him to do? We want him to say, hello, my name is. So we want a looks and a say.
Say hello.
Say hello for 2 seconds. So what do you want him to say? Not hello. We want to say hi or welcome or greetings. My name is. All right, let's get him to introduce himself. All right, comma. What's his name? Greetings. My name is.
My name is.
Could be anything, mate.
I'm just thinking. I'm gonna do the one that I done last time.
Tor. Cool. Although what we want is if it's somebody's name, we want a capital letter for their name, right? Sweet. So if you click on him now, he should say that, right? Awesome. And then we want him to ask for your name, yeah? So let's go to sensing. And we want ask, what's your name, and wait. Up a bit. Oh, it says ask. Just here, mate. That's it. Down one. That doesn't say ask.
Oops.
That's it. Click it on the bottom. Okay, so click on him now. What's your name? And then he gives you that bar, doesn't he? So we can type something in. So you can type something in at the moment. That's okay, man. It's just a test. Hit enter. Yeah. And then it goes away. Fantastic. So we've got the wait going on. So now we need it to take the thing that you type in, right? And we want it to save it somewhere. Do you remember what the thing is we use to save information in our code? Starts with variable. So we want to click on variables. We want to make a new variable. And we're going to call this one name. And it's going to store our name in it. Awesome. Okay. So now you can see in the top of our screen, show everybody where our name box is. So it's showing us our variable there. So we want to go now here. We want set my variable to. Yep. And then go back to sensing because it's going to ask you a question. And so we can take the answer that you type in and we can have it set your variable to be that answer. But remember, what variable is it we need to change, man? It's not my variable. What is it?
It is name.
Name. Fantastic.
And can we lift this up because it's...
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
No worries, man. So what we want to do now is we've got set name to answer. So if we click on our Griffin again, greetings, my name is Tor. What's your name? Cool, hit enter.
Oops.
And then we can see that it saves that name up in our variable spot. So we can call that back anytime we want it, right? We can have it insert our name whenever we like. We just have to put in our variable name. We can just dump that in wherever we like. So the next thing we want to do is we want to have another say. So let's go to looks. Okay, we want to say. Okay, so now this is where it starts to get a bit funky, right? We start using joins. So go to operators. So you have to start paying attention here, guys, because this is where it gets a bit fiddly. So operators, and you'll see a block that says join apple banana. Awesome. So click that into where it says hello. Cool. And then in apple, I want you to type hello, whoever you, or hello, or welcome, or something like that, right? And then we're going to add our name in the second part. Cool. And now one thing we need to remind everybody, Boons, is that are you going to get rid of the caps? Now, do you remember what we have to put at the end of all of our messages? What's the last thing that we need to have to make sure that they don't slam together? We need a gap between them, don't we? Cool, and that's the thing that we learned when we did it last time, wasn't it? It took us a little while to work out why all our words were slamming together. It's because we don't have a space at the end of our first one. And when we start making our list, we want to make sure there's a space at the end of each one of our words in the list too, don't we? So we've got join, welcome banana, but it's not banana we want. What do we want to put in here?
Your name.
Your name. So we go back to our variables. And we pop the little blob for name in the second hole where it says banana. Awesome. So now click on your Griffin and let's see what he says. Greetings, my name is Tor. What's your name? So you can type anything you like here, Beans. Enter. Or click the tick, yep. Welcome, Zakai. Perfect. Yeah? Right. So now, what's the next thing we want him to do? We want him to introduce our friend the centaur. We want him to say something like, click on my friend the centaur to hear a story. Yeah? So let's add that now. What would you need for that? We want him to say a thing. What colour is say? Looks. Yep. Grab say. And then we put our sentence inside there, inside hello.
Tap.
You fry the end of your friend, remember? Yep, go for it. Cool. Tap on my friend. What?
The Zakai.
Well, what's this guy? He's a centaur, isn't he?
To generate.
So tap on my friend to generate a story. That's a
Yeah.
good way to put it, yep. Yep, that's right. Keep going. A story. Cool. Exclamation mark, you reckon? Should you be excited about it? So shift and the number 1. And you'll get an exclamation. There we go. So now when you click on the griffin, he should introduce us to our... There we go. Greetings, my name is Tom. What's your name? Type anything, man. It doesn't matter. Just Zach will do. Keep it short. Okay, full name. No worries. Hit enter. Welcome, Zakai. Tap on my friend to generate a story. Perfect. That's what we want, right? So now we need to move on to this guy. So let's click on our centaur. Cool. And then we can start adding code. So how do we get... What have we just told people to do? To do what to our centaur? Click on him, right? So what's our event handler that we need? What's the first event that's going to happen to our centaur?
When sprite clicked.
Awesome, dude. So when this sprite is clicked, okay? Now we want him to have an introduction to our story. So he could think for a bit and go, or he could say, give me a second. Or he might say, oh, I've got a story for you. So let's throw another say block in. Yep, say hello. Or you can have him think if you would like. Yep. So say, and what would he say to introduce his story? What would, like, if you asked me to tell you a story, what would I say to you before I started telling the story? I'd say, like, oh, let me think.
Yeah.
Cool, go for it, man. Pop that in. Good, caps for the start of a sentence. Well done, mate. And then at the end of your sentence, I'd add an ellipsis, which is a fancy word for 3 full stops in a row. Alright, and we'll just get rid of the 2 H's in your think.
Oh, did
awesome.
not see that.
Don't stress it, mate. It happens. Typo, innit? When the sprite is clicked, say, let me think for 2 seconds. Alright, so let's see what happens when you click him. Does he say, let me think? You should do. Awesome. Let me think. So now, we need to start generating some things, right? So that's cool. He's ready to go. We can start telling our story in a minute. But the first thing...
This is where it gets hard.
This is where it gets hard, right? Yeah, that's true. So we need to start making lists of words, right? So that's the first step. So making lists is actually a really easy thing to do, and Zach's just going to show you how to do that now. So you click on your variables, and underneath... Go ahead, mate.
And then underneath, like, or just above where it says my block, it says make a list.
Yep.
And you call the first one noun.
Noun, very good. That's right, because we're going to put some words in. So do you remember what sort of word a noun is? What's a word?
It's like an object or a thing.
Great.
Like this mouse is a noun.
Yep. Awesome. Dog, rock, car, Zach,
Yeah.
all nouns. So we've got this list here. So we can see that now, can't we, Zach? We've got our list, but it's empty. Do you remember how to add words to the list?
You need to press plus.
Plus, yep, and then ask you for words, right? So we need to think up, should we think up 5? 5 things that'll be in our story. So let's think up 5 fantasy things, right? So what's a thing that you hear in fantasy stories all the time?
Like knights.
Knight,
dragons.
awesome. Yep. So remember to put a space at the end of each one of your list words. Knight, and a space. Yeah, singular, that's right. We don't want the plural. Hit enter. And it brings us a new one. Remember to put a space at the end. Well done there, dude. Dragon. Space. Great. And enter. Let's do 5 for now. We'll just stop at 5.
Dragon. Castle.
Yep, awesome.
Wizard.
Wizard, great. Yeah, that's a good one too. Sword.
Yeah.
And space. Yeah, excellent. Well done.
And then
2 more. Space. Good. And then the last one.
shield.
Yeah. Great. So let's get rid of that one because we don't want any blanks, remember?
Yeah.
Because blanks tend to mess up our story because it might throw us a no word inside our sentence and it freaks it out a bit. So we've got a list of nouns now. We have 5 nouns, right? So what's the other sort of list we want to make, Zach? You reckon?
Verbs.
Verbs, yeah. So let's do a verb list. Okay, and we say okay. And then we add some verbs to our list. So what are verbs?
Verbs are like no, that's adjective.
Adjectives are describing words, aren't they? So what are verbs? Do you remember?
I was thinking of adverbs, but
So they describe verbs.
Yeah.
But what's a verb? So adverbs describe the
it's
verb.
like
The verb.
chop.
It's a doing word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to add a bunch of doing words. So click plus. We're going to add 5 doing words. Okay, and we don't want the ing on the end. We just want the basic verb with a space at the end. Fantastic. Chop.
I was gonna write the one that we wrote down there.
What,
but
decapitate?
Yeah.
Put it in. You remember how to spell it?
Ek.
Excellent. Space. Oh, we missed a space on the end of that. That's okay. So to fix it, you go in here, you push across to the end of the word, and then enter a space. Cool. And then we go down to the next one. Perfect. And what's another one? Chop, decapitate. These are all quite violent at the moment.
Walk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do non-violent ones.
That's okay, man. You can put in whatever you want. As long as they're not rude words, I don't mind. Chase.
Yeah. Fight.
Fight. Excellent. Remember the space. Well done, man. Cool. Get rid of our blank. That's okay, mate. And we get rid of our blank. And so what's the last list of words that we need? Do you remember?
Adjectives.
Adjectives. So let's do that. So the way we're adding these words manually is fine for now. I'll do a bonus feature video to show you how to add a list of words from another document. It's actually really easy to do, and it makes it handy because you can go on the internet and copy a whole bunch of words and paste them into a file and then just import that file with about 100 words in it, right? And make your story really complex if you want to. Cool. And so now we want to click plus, and we want to add some describing words.
So we do like strong.
Strong, yeah. With space. Yep, that's cool. Stronger, space, enter, ugly. What are some other fantasy words you reckon? Magical?
Yeah.
Awesome. 2 more. What are knights?
They're strong, they're brave.
Brave is a good one. Space. And what's another one? Our last one. What are the words I say when you do something really strong? I say that you are muscly, yeah, or mighty.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so now we've got 5 of everything. Cool. That's okay, mate. You do. That's okay. It's a habit, right? To hit enter at the end of your word. It's fine. So now we've got a list of 3 lists of our words. Okay, and these are the words that we're going to use Scratch. Right? Scratch will drag those words into our story when we tell them. So to get rid of, do you remember how to hide your list so they're not in the middle of your screen all the time?
Under make a list, there's these ticks, and if you just say so the adjectives is there. If you tap on this, it disappears.
Awesome.
And to make it look like more easily to see, you need to you can see your people, and it's make it more easy to tap.
Yeah. Should we hide your name variable as well? Because you know your name, we don't need to see what it's storing. Awesome. So that's real nice now, right? It's real nice. It's looking good. So now we've got our lists of words. We need to start thinking about how you make random words come out of that list, right? So that's back again in our lists here, isn't it? Yeah. So what we've got here is to choose our list of things. We need one of these. Yeah. So we want to choose one list from our, let's do our nouns first. Oh, that's adjectives. Nouns. So we're going to take one item of our noun list. Do you remember how we get it to pick a random one? Where do we get random numbers from? What colour are the random number blocks? Yeah, well done, man. Operators. So we're working with maths. So grab a pick random and dump it in that one. Great. And then we need to go back to our list. So go back to variables. Yeah, of course.
Just in case you can't get this in, you put the corner in and it and it like lights up around it.
It does, doesn't it?
And then
Bang.
you can...
And that's how you know which hole it is, right? Because some of them have more than one hole and it can confuse you. So let's go down to lists again because we need to put another bit of our list blocks. So go down, there we go. So a little bit further. Okay, so we should see one that says length of adjectives. So pop that in the second hole where the number 10 is. Great, and change it so that both the drop-down menus are the same type of word. Awesome. So now let's just take a look at that block and see what we've got. So we're saying I want you to choose a thing, pick an item, and I want you to pick a random one between the first one and the last one in our list of nouns. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what we want to do is we want it to pick a random one. All right? And we see it picks a random one out of our list. If we click it again, it's picking random words out of our list.
And sometimes it says it like more than once. So
it does, doesn't
then
it?
It says wizard, wizard, and it said sword, sword in twice in a row, and
That's
it
right.
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, does it? And that's randomness for you, right? Because true randomness, it doesn't mean they're always different. True randomness means you don't know what's coming, so it could be the same thing again, right? Cool. So we're going to have it pick this item. We want it to have that. All right, and then we want to take our noun, and so we want to grab another joiner. So go to our operators, the green blocks, and grab a join block. It says join apple banana. Okay, so what we want to do is when we speak sentences, we do the describing word before the noun, right? We do the adjective, then the noun, like brown table, strong night.
Like mighty crocodile.
Yeah, so duplicate your item block, because we need 2 of them for this. Duplicate. Awesome. Stick one in the apple hole. And one in the banana hole. So this one here, grab it. That's it. Drop it in the banana hole. Cool. And now you want to make sure that this first one, drag it across so everyone can see. Awesome. We want to make sure that this first one here is our adjective drop downs. So grab your noun, change it to adjective. And now click on the join part of your block and it should give you 2 words. Strong shield. Next one. Magical shield. Next one. Brave wizard. So we saw shield twice in a row there, didn't we?
Yeah.
But that's randomness. That's fine. And so now, this is where it starts to get really ugly, isn't it? So we need another join block. We drag it across and we pop our big join block in the banana hole. Remember, guys, if you're getting stuck, you can pause the video at any time, take a look at it, rewind, do all that sort of stuff. So now, we need... Yeah, it's massive, right? So what we wanted to do is here where it says apple, you want to have a starting part of your sentence, right? So once upon a time. Or a long time ago.
Yeah, you can like one magical morning or something.
That is an awesome one. I love that one. So pop that in here. One magical morning. A space. So morning A. So one magical morning A, because we're describing a thing, right? One magical morning A something something with a space. Excellent. So now if you click on the join part at the start of that block, it should give you a whole sentence. Right? So now, how do we get our centaur man to say it?
You tap on him.
You do, but it's not connected to anything right now. What sort of block do we need to put in? So, no, don't drag it off the edge, you'll delete it. That's it. So go back to looks. Grab another say block from looks and stick it on the bottom. On this thing.
Yeah.
That's it. And then dump your green join block into where it says hello. And click on your centaur now. Yeah? Awesome. So, one magical morning, a mighty dragon. What's our next sentence, do you reckon? Could be anything you like, mate. It's your story.
This is a bit weird. Was terrorizing a city.
Yeah, okay. So, but we don't remember, like, we're not writing a story, but that is a great sentence. So we could say was went out to something a something. Yeah. So we could do that. We could say one magical morning a. What do we get out of it? So if we click in and say one, because if we read the story, if we read the words, then we can get an idea of how our next sentence should sound. So one magical morning, a mighty sword
was found somewhere.
Okay. So if we go grab a say block and click on the bottom, right? So what we want to do is we want another join, and we click that in here. Okay. One magical morning. Oh, he's going to do it again because we clicked it by accident. That's okay. So one magical morning, an ugly shield. What?
An ugly shield
went to see his friend, the something something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pop that in. So in our first sentence. So this is our next sentence. So one magical morning, a something something went to see his friend, the something something. So we need a the, right? Because it's a something something. Went to see his friend, the. typo from me now. The something something. So if we click on our centaur again, let me think. One magical morning, a brave dragon went to see his friend, the magical knight. Yeah? And then what would our next sentence be? So what would we clip onto the bottom of our code now? We need another purple block that we've got there. What would you do, Boons?
You could duplicate.
Oh, mate, we could definitely dupe it. That's way smarter than dragging all the blocks in, right? Come on, a bit of a pro at this, dude. So what would our next sentence be? They went to see his friend, the something something.
And they done something.
So that would be a verb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what we want to do then, so let's go. Let it go. Sweet. So what's our next sentence? Went to see his friend, the something something. They
like to do something.
Great. So they liked to. So we want this one. What does this need to be? They like to. It's going to be a doing word, right? So we make them verbs.
Oh, both of them are adjectives.
That's right. That's what we want. So adjectives, nouns, nouns. So this one,
yeah.
they like to something, and then a noun. So if you click on the guy and see what it says. One magical morning, a strong wizard went to see his friend, the brave shield. They like to chase wizard. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's okay. We can work on it later when we refine our thing. We can refine our sentences a little bit so that it sounds a bit more sensible.
It would make more sense if they said because they would like to chase a wizard.
So we can do that. I'll show you how we do that. We take another joiner and we slide our joiner in here. Okay, so we pull this out. And we just make this say A. And then we pop this in the hole where it says banana. And we click this guy. Let me think. One magical morning, a strong sword went to see his friend, the strong knight. They like to fight a dragon. How about they went to fight a dragon? Yeah? And then we can carry on with our story. They went to fight a dragon.
That makes more sense.
Yeah? And then so what we could do is we can say, we can have another, we could put another say in. What would we have to end our story then? We got one magical morning of something something, went to see his friend of something something. They went to something or something.
Say hello.
Say hello at the end. That's what he's doing now, so that's not going to make any sense. They went to something something. Hello! Not really. So what are we going to go for? What's our last sentence? We can finish it off here. We can say they went to something or something. It was great. Or you could even say, you could do another joiner and we could have it was and then describe an adjective. Or you could just have a sentence that finishes your story altogether.
It was amazing.
Yeah, put that in. Put that, it was amazing. And then that will be a really cool one. Amazing. And do an exclamation at the end of your amazing. Cool. And then let's have another one that just says the end. Cool. So what happens when you click on your centaur now? Let me think. One magical morning, a strong dragon went to see his friend, the strong dragon. They went to chop a wizard.
Oh, jeez.
It was amazing. The end. Awesome. So that tells us the whole story, right? So if we now make it big so that we can test our code, let's stop it all and restart it. Okay, bud, show everybody. Greetings, my name is Tor. What's your name? We can type anything here, can't we? Welcome, Zakai. Tap on my friend to generate a story. And we click on our centaur. He says, let me think. One magical morning, a strong wizard went to see his friend, the strong wizard. They went to decapitate a shield. It was amazing.
How did they decapitate a shield?
I don't know, man. It's your story. But that's cool, right? So that's it. So we now have a story generator. And that's pretty cool. What else could we do to it, do you think? What other stuff, like later on, if I'm going to do some bonus videos for everyone at home, what do you reckon I should do?
Like, tell them how to make, like, a giant or the kitten tell their story.
Okay, so have the computer do the text-to-speech where it reads your story out? Yep, that's cool. What else could I do to the little people on the screen, you think? What could I have them do?
Move them around.
You can make them move while they're talking, right? We can do that, and I'll do that in the bonus video later. What else do you reckon we could do? Is there anything else you can think of?
You need to make them a lot smaller to, like, make people act to owl in the background.
Wow, now you're talking. That's super interesting. We could do that, right? We could have it say when it picked the word wizard, we would show a wizard. Or when it picked the shield, it would show us a shield, yeah? We can do that. We'll do that later, yeah? Once we get off the video here for everybody. So we're sort of out of time today, Zach. But that was pretty cool, right? Like, we had our story generator. Were there any questions you had about the whole thing? Are you pretty happy with how that went?
Yeah.
pretty good, right? You did a real good job, dude. Always do a good job. Cool. So let's say bye to everybody. We'll say thanks to everybody.
See ya.
And let's remind them to add their projects to rpf.io/home. Yeah, which is where all our videos are. So you can see me and Booney and me and Zay in some other videos where we're doing some project stuff. And if you want to... Go ahead.
At one time there's me, Mark and Zay all together doing...
Oh, yeah, we did that for our dojo, didn't we? We streamed our Coda Dojo to everybody and we worked together with them. That was cool fun, right? But we'll do some more videos like this for everybody later. Sweet. So remember, guys, you can submit your work to us at rpf.io/home. Continue watching all the digital making at home videos that we're putting out for you guys. And if you have any sort of questions whatsoever, you can get in touch with Raspberry Pi on Twitter. You can also get in touch with us through our website, send us an email, all that sort of stuff. Catch you later, everybody. We'll see you in our next one. Bye.